students, now we are going to learn about amino acids. As you know, amino acids are micromolecules which are joined together by peptide bond, then we will get proteins. Okay. So amino acids are the building units of proteins, and so proteins on hydrolysis with acid or alkali will yield amino acids. So amino acids are the building units of proteins. They are carboxylic acids containing an amino group. Mainly there are mainly 20 amino acids are there, and in most of the amino acids, in case 19 out of 20, an amino group is attached to alpha carbonatum. Hence they are known as alpha amino acids. So in living organisms, the amino acids are alpha amino acids. So what are alpha amino acids? An amino group is attached to alpha carbonatum. 20 amino acids ulladil 19 amino acids alpha amino acids aanu. Living organismത്തിൽ ഉള്ളതെല്ലാം alpha amino acids aanu. And this is the structure of amino acid, and here you can see NH2 group and COH group. This is the carboxylic group, this is NH2 or amino group, this is H group, and this is R or side chain. This is alkyl group. So this side chain is different in all amino acids. All other parts are same. So this carbonatum is asymmetric because the 4 valencies are occupied by 4 different types of radicals. So this carbonatum, here H group, here carboxylic group COH group, here NH2 group, here it is R group or alkyl group. The side chain is varying. All the other parts are same in all the amino acids. Okay. So these amino acids differ from each other in their side chains. The symbol R represents the side chain which varies in different amino acids. So that is, the different amino acid shows variations only in the R group, and so it gives individuality to the amino acids. And the alpha carbonatum in an amino acid is optically active and asymmetric except glycine. Glycine എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഒരു അമിനോ ആസിഡ് ഒഴികെ ബാക്കി എല്ലാ അമിനോ ആസിഡ്സിലും ദിസ് ആൽഫ കാർബണാറ്റം ഈസ് ഒപ്റ്റിക്കലി ആക്റ്റീവ് ആൻഡ് എസിമെട്രിക്. Asymmetric means because the 4 valencies of that carbon are satisfied by 4 different groups. So this alpha carbonatum is optically active, so these amino acids exist in both D and L forms, dextrorotatory and levorotatory forms. So in living system, all amino acids are L isomerase. All amino acids are L isomerase or levorotatory forms. So here you can see the structure of 3 amino acids. One is glycine, one is alanine, and the other is valine. In the case of alanine and valine, the carbonatum, here amino group, here carboxylic group, here H group, here CH3. In the case of valine, this much part is same, amino group, carboxylic group, and hydrogen group, H group, but this part is different. This part is different. So this is the side chain of alanine, and this is the side chain of valine. So these R groups are only different, all the other parts are same. And here in the case of alanine and valine, you can see an asymmetric carbonatum. The 4 valencies are satisfied by different groups. But here in the case of glycine, this carbon is not asymmetric. Here and here H groups, we can see the same groups in 2 sides. So this is not asymmetric or this is not optically active. So that's why we are saying that the alpha carbonatum is asymmetric and is optically active in amino acids, all amino acids except glycine. So next is sutrione. Okay. Amino acids are known as amphoteric compounds. Why? Because an amino acid contains both acidic and alkaline group within the same molecule. So such compounds are called amphoteric compounds. So these amphoteric compounds can react with both acid and alkali. In solutions, the amino group and carboxylic group of the amino acids acquire charges due to ionization and occur in the form of an internal salt called citration. So what is citration? What happens when an amino acid is dissolved in aqueous solution? ഒരു അമിനോ ആസിഡിനെ നമ്മൾ അക്വ സൊല്യൂഷനിൽ ഡിസോൾവ് ആക്കിയാൽ എന്ത് സംഭവിക്കും? അതറിഞ്ഞാൽ നമുക്ക് സിട്രൈൻ പഠിക്കാൻ പറ്റും. So when an amino acid is dissolved in water, the proton of COH shifts to amino group. So listen, this is an amino acid, carbon, H, COH, NH2 group and R group. So when we keep this amino acid in an aqueous solution, what will happen? The proton of acidic group, അതായത് ഈ H of the COH group that shifted to amino group or basic group. അപ്പോൾ എന്താ പറ്റുന്നത്? ഈ H, ഈ പ്രോട്ടോൺ അത് ഈ NH2ലേക്ക് വരും. So NH2 becomes NH3. Proton positive charge, so NH2 becomes NH3 positive and COHൻ്റെ ഈ ഒരു പ്രോട്ടോൺ എച്ച് ആണ് പോയത്. അപ്പോൾ പോസിറ്റീവ് ചാർജ് പോയി. സോ ഇറ്റ് ബിക്കംസ് മൈനസ്. COH become CO minus. So this is Zwittrion. Do you understand? A proton from an acidic group that is shifted to amino group. So this molecule has two charges, both positive charges and negative charges. So it is known as dipolar ion or Zwitterion. The Zwitterion is a neutral molecule. Why? It has both positive and negative charges. Do you understand? This type of material or molecule is known as Zwitterion. So what is Zwitterion? These amino acids are amphoteric compounds that we know. So it can react with both acid and alkali. Okay. So here what is Zwitterion? When we dissolved an amino acid in a water, the proton or H of the COH that is shifted to amino group. So the amino group NH2 become NH3 plus and the COH group becomes CO minus. So this molecule at the same time this molecule is carrying two charges, both positive and negative charges. So this is neutral molecule. This is known as Zwitterion or dipolar molecule. And next we are learning classification of amino acids. On hydrolysis, proteins yield 23 amino acids. So these amino acids are derived from proteins, so they are known as proteogenic amino acids. These proteogenic amino acids includes 20 major amino acids and 3 rare amino acids. Okay, which are the rare amino acids? Hydroxylproline, asparagine and glutamine. Okay, 20 major amino acids and 3 rare amino acids. The 3 rare amino acids are hydroxylproline, asparagine, glutamine. Total 23 amino acids, and among the 23, 21 amino acids are alpha amino acids, but 2 are amino acids. 2 are amino acids. Amino acids ഏതൊക്കെയാണ്? proline and hydroxylproline. Okay. So here you can see that amino group, no, instead of that NH2, NH group or amino group is present. Okay, this is proline. I have told you proline and hydroxylproline are amino acids. So this is the structure of proline. This is an amino acid because an amino group is present. Instead of that amino group NH2, an amino NH group is present. Okay, so 20 major amino acids, 3 rare amino acids. So total 23 amino acids. Among these 23, 21 amino acids are alpha amino acids and the 2 are amino acids. Example, proline and hydroxylproline, because instead of amino group they are having amino group. And the next classification. So based on the synthesis, okay, how these amino acids are synthesized. So based on that, we are dividing these amino acids into 3 types: essential amino acids, non-essential amino acids, and semi-essential amino acids. Some amino acids cannot be synthesized in our body. So these are to be supplied along with the food for proper growth and development. These type of amino acids are known as essential amino acids. Essential amino acids നമ്മുടെ ബോഡിയിൽ സിന്തസൈസ് ചെയ്യത്തില്ല, അത് നമുക്ക് ഫുഡിലൂടെ തന്നെ സപ്ലൈ ചെയ്യണം. That must be supplied through our food. But these amino acids are needed for our growth and development. But these amino acids are not synthesized in our body. That should be supplied along with the food. So these type of amino acids are called essential amino acids. Example: phenylalanine, valine, threonine, lysine, methionine, tryptophan, isoleucine and leucine. Example അല്ല, ഈ ടോട്ടൽ 23 അമിനോ ആസിഡ്സിൽ ഇപ്പോൾ ഈ പറഞ്ഞ ഇത്രയും അമിനോ ആസിഡ്സ് മാത്രമാണ് എസെൻഷ്യൽ അമിനോ ആസിഡ്സ്. phenylalanine, valine, threonine, lysine, methionine, tryptophan, isoleucine and leucine. You have to learn the names. And the remaining amino acids are called non-essential amino acids because they can be synthesized in our body. So they need not be supplied with the food. These amino acids can be synthesized from the intermediates of carbohydrate and lipid metabolism. So no need to supply with our food. ഫുഡിലൂടെ കിട്ടിയാലും ഇല്ലെങ്കിലും these are synthesized in our body. These are synthesized from the intermediates of carbohydrate and protein metabolism. Which are the non-essential amino acids? Alanine, aspartic acid, cysteine, glutamic acid, glycine, proline, serine, tyrosine, hydroxyl proline and cysteine. Okay. Then two amino acids are semi-essential amino acids. Which are the semi-essential amino acids? Arginine and histidine. Why are they known as semi-essential amino acids? Yeah, because they are synthesized partially in our body but not at the rate to meet the requirements of the body. They are synthesized. പകുതിയൊക്കെ നമ്മുടെ ബോഡിയിൽ സിന്തസൈസ് ചെയ്യും, പക്ഷേ ബാക്കി നമുക്ക് ഫുഡിലൂടെയും വേണം. Because some amount are synthesized in our body, but this is not enough to meet the requirements of the body. So we have to supply this through our diet also. Okay. So these are semi-essential amino acids. So based on the synthesis, we are dividing into 3: essential amino acids, non-essential amino acids and semi-essential amino acids. And based on the chemical nature of the side chains, I have told you in the structure, when we were learning the structure of amino acids, I have told you the carbon, the 4 valencies are occupied by 4 different groups. One is amino group, one is carboxyl group, one is H and other one is R group or alkyl group or side chain. So based on the chemical nature of the side chains, we are classifying these amino acids into 3: aliphatic amino acids, aromatic amino acids, heterocyclic amino acids. So these are the 20 amino acids. Structure also be given. So what are aliphatic amino acids? Yeah, amino acids containing a straight chain as R group are called aliphatic amino acids. Side group ആയിട്ട് R group ആയിട്ട് ഒരു straight chain ആണെങ്കിൽ they are known as aliphatic amino acids. These aliphatic amino acids are again classified into 5 types. First is monocarboxylic acid. As the name implies, mono means single or one. Monoamino monocarboxylic acid. It means they have one amino group and one carboxylic group attached to the alpha carbon atom. They are chemically neutral. Example: glycine, alanine, valine, leucine, isoleucine. And the second type of aliphatic amino acid, that is monoamino dicarboxylic acid. As you know, they have one amino group, monoamino, one amino group and dicarboxylic, that means 2 carboxylic groups. Monoamino dicarboxylic acids have one amino group and 2 carboxylic groups. So they are acidic in reaction. Example, aspartic acid, glutamic acid, etc. And the third type of aliphatic amino acids are diamino monocarboxylic acid, just opposite to the previous one. Diamino means they have two amino groups, and monocarboxylic, that means they have one carboxylic group. They have two amino groups and one carboxylic group. They are basic in reaction. Example, arginine and lysine. And the fourth type of aliphatic amino acids are sulfur containing amino acids. It contains a thiol group in the side chain. Examples, cysteine, methionine, etc. are the examples. And the last type of aliphatic amino acids are hydroxyl containing amino acids. It contains a hydroxyl group in the side chain, OH group. Example, serine and threonine. So we are classifying these amino acids based on the chemical nature of the side chain. We are classifying these amino acids into three: aliphatic amino acids, aromatic amino acids, heterocyclic amino acids. Aliphatic amino acids are again divided into 5 types. That finished. The next is aromatic amino acids. Aromatic amino acids contain an aromatic side ring and are neutral. What do you mean by aliphatic amino acids? Aliphatic amino acids endaayirunnu? The straight chain the R group is a straight chain. Aromatic amino acid, the R group or side chain is a ring structure. Ring structure. A straight chain aayirunnu aliphatic amino acids. Aromatic amino acid R group ennu parayunnathu adoru ring structure aayirikkum. These are neutral because these aromatic amino acids contains one amino group and one carboxylic group. Example, phenylalanine and tyrosine. Okay, then aromatic amino acid, because aromatic amino acids contain an aromatic side ring and are neutral. It contains only one amino group and one carboxylic group. Examples, phenylalanine and tyrosine. And the last type of amino acid, that is heterocyclic amino acids. These amino acids contains a heterocyclic ring, either imidazole ring or indole ring. Example, proline, hydroxyproline, histidine, tryptophan, etc. So these are the 3 types of amino acids based on the nature of R group or side chain. Thank you.